Welcome back. My guests today are all revealing how their faith has been a grounding force in their lives, not only in good times, but of course, in the tough times too. My next guests play a father and daughter on screen, but are a power couple off. You know Tamron and David Mann from Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns. While their fans were watching a couple on top of the world, behind the scenes, Tamron and David's relationship was recently challenged by a struggle David was silently hiding. And now for the first time on national television, David and Tamron are here to talk about this deeply personal journey where they had to rely on faith first. Please welcome Tamron and David Mann to the table. You're not only entertainers, you are stars of TV shows. Everybody knows your name. And I didn't know until recently that you, for 2 years, were battling depression. Every time, even when you walked out, you're smiling, she's regal, you've got the finger in there smiling, but you've been hiding so much behind that smile.
They would ask me, are you okay? Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a fixer. Let me fix it. I'll fix everything. Everything is good. Everything is fine. As long as everybody else is good, I'll figure it out on my own later. That was literally killing me.
When did you know something wasn't right, if that's the way to put it?
I don't know. I just know one day I realized I don't feel right. And something is off. And the only way that I could find relief was I would go in my office and just go to sleep. And that's the only time I just could feel good.
You've not talked about this publicly.
I have not talked about it. This is the first time.
Why is it now the time? Why is it now?
Because of the stigma that we have on it as black men.
As a community.
As a community. And quite honestly, I was embarrassed.
You were embarrassed?
I was embarrassed. I was ashamed because, you know, I'm David Mann. I make the world laugh. But once I started to see how much I could help people with my story of depression, because that is something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
What did it feel like in those dark days?
Like that, you know, and I want to say...
if I could say this real quick, he looked unhappy. So I kept asking the question.
So you saw it. You saw the light.
I could see that something was there, but I wouldn't have put that on it. I would have never said that about him.
You would never thought it was depression?
No, never.
What did you think it was?
I was just, you know how you just have a moment like you get tired, fatigued, because when we go and it's like so much. He's thinking of what's next when we're all asleep. He up thinking about what we about to do.
So you thought maybe burnout?
Yes, like tired.
I said, it's like I was drowning, but nobody knew I was drowning. The only way people were gonna realize that I was, okay,
yes,
cool. Yeah. It's touchy for me because I haven't shared it with anybody. I said the only way people were going to realize that I was drowning is if I completely drowned. And I was like, wow. And I can't say anything to anybody because I got to make sure you're fixed. I got to make sure you're good. I got to make sure everybody's good. And it just hit me. And I was like, I need to see a therapist. But then I know the stigma for our neighborhood, you know, you don't need to go to no therapist. You ain't going up there and telling nobody your business.
Well, especially when you are someone who leads with your faith, people say, well, pray about it.
Yes.
And I did.
But that's
and
not
I prayed and I prayed, and when I got up, I still felt miserable.
Yeah.
So, like I describe it, I say if I was having a heart attack, they would have taken me to a heart doctor.
Yeah.
If I had liver problems, they would have taken, I say, so now I'm having some mental health issues. I need to seek professional help.
Yeah. That's a beautiful point because people will tell you if you have a heart condition, go to see a doctor. You can pray and go see someone who has an expertise in this.
Yeah, because the house of prayers help. The house of prayers help, meaning like your church, your pastor, you know, or people that you talk to. But there's nothing wrong. We realize there's nothing wrong with going and talk to somebody. I told him, I said, first of all, I was devastated. My heart was just in crumbles because I was like, what? I mean, what is happening that you're not telling me? So I felt really just like helpless because I was like, so it's like night after this, y'all. It's like I was constantly, you okay? I said, don't give me the generic answer, good. I said, because a lot of us, and he was like, I know how to put the face on. I was like, don't give me the mask. Tell me seriously, where are you? Where are you and how can I help you? I was determined to not allow the enemy to destroy my husband, my relationship, and what he has. What he has, because I know what he comes with and what his call to do and how he's called to help not just us, but he's called to help the nation. The thing is it's more brothers that I know that are hurting and struggling and not talking about it. And to hear somebody of his stature and of his caliber to say that there's a problem and it's okay, let's talk about the problem and we can get the problem fixed. Because a lot of times we think there's no fix, but there is help. And we're called to be helpers. We're called to be helpers to one another.
When he told you finally, I've made the appointment, I'm going to see a therapist.
I was like, get out of here.
They pushed me out the door. Go.
Like, get out of here. Because I think I haven't went yet. It's like I start talking to some other friend of mine who kind of walked me through some things and just really, to just see myself. Sometimes we have to look in the mirror to see yourself.
Yeah. Once I got there, it was a bit of apprehension because it's just like, how do I, sit? What made me comfortable, the therapist said the first thing is, okay, welcome. Let's have a word of prayer. Now, what's the problem? That right there said, okay, I can have a therapist and, we can faith too. And so I remember that first day in therapy, I think I must have cried my whole hour. I paid him an hour to cry. I just sit there and I pour it out. And I think that's what some of us are missing. Some of us are missing that relief.
How do you feel now?
I'm in the best place that I've been in my life.
And I'm the other therapist.
Yeah. I'm in the best place because what I learned was I got to take some time for me.
And so you're in this good spot and you're back. The family is on like the new tour is like the Partridge Family.
It is up to date. Overcome a Man family tour. Yes, we're out.
So was that not a lot to take in? The reason why I wanted to do this is because this kind of tied into my last video, and which talked about the incarcerating factors of ministry. We are killing ourselves trying to live this persona of being something that we're not built to be. And I'm not a minister on a pulpit, but I do know what it's like to have to put on a mask, because people expect you to be on. I'm a person, I like to be up and I like to keep the environment up and happy. And so if people have programmed me to always be on when I'm there. And so I ran into a part in my life where I was having crying spells. Just like, okay, I'm just having a crying spell. This is just what it is. No, nigga, you depressed. You just don't know it. You walking depressed. So I had to go talk to somebody. You will internally combust trying to be this superhero. He spoke about the only way that people would believe I was drowning is if I completely drowned. Do you see how sad that sounds? To be a person that brings so much joy to people. And that's what ministry is. Ministry is that you being able to change an environment by whatever it is that you do, whether it's singing, being a comedian, and that's gospel or otherwise. Jill Scott, love it when she sings. She makes me happy because she smiles, she enjoys singing. Comedians, whether you're talking good stuff or you're talking bad stuff, you changing the environment. It is a ministry. Same thing with podcasts and otherwise. Your fruit that you get from whatever your ministry is depicts who you're ministering for. But that's another subject. Talking about them folk, the messy folk that keep only, they're living their life through other people's mess ups. Y'all working for the devil. I just call it out. But, and another thing that he mentioned, balance. You've got to have life, work, ministry, balance. I'm proud of him for having the balls to look our black heritage in its face, though men are not supposed to be vulnerable, and be vulnerable. I'm sad, I'm depressed. That's like, I know many people that deal with depression that are seeking help. Mental health month was a couple of months ago. This is serious. This is about revealing to, number one, yourself, that I'm not that perfect being taking off the cape, taking off the I got to be the superhero. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you have to have balance. Take a vacation. That has absolutely nothing to do with church. Go see a psychiatrist. Get a drink if you need to. I said it. But not letting your good be evil spoken of is killing y'all. Because y'all can't have balance. Because y'all can't be yourselves and show who you really are. Okay, and we need to stop judging these ministers so harshly, holding them up to expectation that we can't even hold up to, so that it is okay. They feel it's okay to be themselves. That's one of the major reasons why so many men are in the closet, having two lives, or people hiding and eating, gluttony, because you're not happy with yourself. Talk to somebody. And if you don't have anybody that can see past your mask, then you're surrounded by the wrong people. Our job is to be forgiving, realize that they're human, and love them through it. Pray for them. Reach out to them, not be so quick to judge them. And so I'm gonna get off my little soapbox, and I just want us, like I said before, to be better. I come from a place of transparency. I had to forgive a person in my life that's very close to me for the physical, mental abuse all of my life. On his dying bed, he denied he did it. But I had to forgive him. Not for him, for me. And that's why I come from a place of forgiveness and empathy, because when I released him, I released me. And so that's where we've all got to be. That's why I'm an advocate for forgiving, because they're imperfect. And walking around with all this hatred, that's not good for us. So let's be better. I love y'all. Thank you for coming back to my page, and y'all like, comment, share, express the story that you have. You know, do you feel down? Do you need to talk to somebody? It's okay to talk to somebody. We all need to talk to somebody, and we need to find friends that we can talk to. Not just pray, but do pray. Nonetheless, till we meet again, God be with y'all.